you know that basically now Aquila Arms, they're open. It's a business day. I believe this is the equivalent of a Tuesday. Yes. Maybe the most important day of your life. And so, if you're going to have eyes on target, that means you need to go and actually go to the warehouse. And also, at the same time that you two were having your conversation, it was morning in Belumira that Andrew and Johannes?
I can believe so.
And Hick.
Just walked out.
Perpetually absent.
Johannes has he knows intellectually that Hick is the bodyguard and that you are the rep, but realistically, he talks to the adult in the house, and you get
No, he's in the room.
So yeah, he's in the room. Either that, or he can repeat everything the computer says, or talk to the computer.
No, if someone's talking down to Artemis.
No, not Artemis. To
Andrew.
Well,
To Andrew. Oh. Has Andrew been assigned the position of boss for this expedition?
yes. And Johannes, in his processing, that
he gets started ignoring Andrew and just gets the hand of stop. I'm just the meat shield. Talk to him. The boy.
we should be present when they're doing the work, and given the fact that we represent the
Darn right.
So, if I've been seconded to Andrew by my real boss, the Centurion, run the Centurion's business.
exactly.
Yes.
Any complaints you have about what you're doing for him, you can take to Centurion. What's his name?
Damien.
And that is really
Is he Citizen Kane?
Centurion Kane, completely different.
Like
David would never.
Okay, just to be clear, I was the one who named him.
Citizen
His,
Kane.
his character.
Josiah never
Bud.
makes puns.
No.
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 Well,
What? Never.
Let me tell you, I did not actually mean to reference Citizen Kane.
So just
Well,
Someone else was being
well
Someone
done.
else.
see, you had to go and say that because I was about to ask, do you have a horse named Rosebud?
Yeah.
No.
And that is how you know.
Toboggan or
It's his carriage.
And we'll only find out in the last episode when it's on fire.
yes.
The whole of East Side is on fire.
Not the
So that's the
current one,
important
it's the one he
part.
was a kid that was deprived of.
We see the wagon
It's
on fire.
parody. It's got a little bit of
It was
wiggly
all- It
room.
was called Rosebud all along.
So, okay, fine.
So are they in the warehouse?
You guys head off to the warehouse.
We head up to the warehouse.
And there's a short musical montage of travel as we see Andrew and company heading to the warehouse, and we see Artemis and company heading to the warehouse. And you arrive first. So we get, you walk in, there's the house, what's going on? This is the Aquila, and you're immediately show papers, and we're from the Centurion. And they're like, okay. And you pass in, and literally as you're going in through the door, Artemis and Miss Mousewitch are showing up behind you. As it happens, for our entertainment tonight, the warehouse overseer is played by Joseph Rose.
Oh.
And there may be other roles available under whose bus's wheels I will throw.
You upset your grandson.
Did my cough scan?
He just started a little bit. It's okay, baby. He's feeling delicate.
I think it was the bus.
Me.
He's like, I don't want to play a character. I can't even talk. How dare you put this on me?
Don't put me under the bus's wheels. They go round and round.
I've heard this song.
Yeah, he does. He's a responsible character.
No.
Whatever consternation is shown when a representative of the Centurion shows up, far more low-level consternation happens when the acting president of Aquila Arms walks in through the door of the warehouse to look at operations. Suddenly, all the guys grow about an inch taller and an inch thinner, and are remarkably focused upon their very important work, whatever it may be, and making sure that they do it right and not bump into each other or bump their various cargoes into each other as they're moving it throughout the warehouse.
I walk somewhat in this direction and then turn towards the train, which I presume is being loaded here in the warehouse.
Yes. Of note, this particular warehouse abuts the tracks. So it has big sliding doors that are open, not roller doors, but sideways sliding doors. They open out onto a deck that then allows you to go, basically roll right into the cargo cars of the train that is there. And just throughout the day, the train is slowly moving along, and they just keep loading. Cargo is being checked, double-checked. Effectively a pre-printed packing list that's going to be an invoice is going around in each one. The numbers are being written down,
Doing the shipper by hand, are they?
they are indeed.
I point at him. You're the one in charge here?
Yeah. What do you want?
We want
I turn around and look at her.
information.
Turn and look at you. As you say. I'm going to check out the cargo. And I walk up to one of the boxes.
I beg your pardon. You're going to check out the cargo. And just who might you be?
Inspector Harker.
That's
This is psychic.
Not bad for blind.
These days. At least we're not stale.
Wow. Did you just call someone stale?
Sure did.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is a group of some of the most unpleasant people.
Yeah, we do be like this sometimes. There you are.
You say that to her. You say that to her.
She is pretty. Do you want to rephrase?
Yes, by all means. Slow down my entire delicately balanced floor.
And I go up to one of the crates. And I top off. What's inside?
First of all, immediately outside the crate is a huge amount of resentment in the form of two men that were just working and finishing that crate, having closed it up. You having erased their labor casually. Find.
Don't worry, he says he's an inspector.
Great.
Yes, boss. Actually, Warehouse Man 2, Warehouse Man 1.
Congratulations, you've earned resentment.
Inspector?
I just very publicly take the pick list that is just attached to the side, take it off, and I just write a little note at the bottom, just opened by
Inspector Harker?
Haven't heard of you before.
He looks about 12.
You signed this.
I said looks, I know how old you are.
Inside, you see Bayonne rounds. A lot of Bayonne rounds. They are packaged in cloth, and there's just a large amount of it, which means moving the crate is a task. But they do have amazing little wheeled trolleys that somehow hook underneath it and allow them to roll the thing, these heavy pieces of cargo around.
I check below the surface.
You check below the surface. How far would you like to dig into this carefully packed box?
About halfway down.
Oh.
Roll for resentment.
Yes. Your resentment meter doesn't go that high, but you get halfway down and you are digging through Bayonne rounds. Because to get down like that, you've got to you have to take stuff out to be able to, because it's not just like sand or something. Even if it was sand, you wouldn't be able to do it. So you get down there. It's very clearly Bayonne rounds going down to the at least halfway mark as far as you've got.
Now, you do realize there's a pick list on the side, right? You don't have to open the box. It's kind of the point of having a pick list.
If the pick list indicated what was in the box, I wouldn't be here.
Ouch.
And who exactly said that did somebody say they didn't get something?
Yes, the people who did not receive the shipment that you said you sent last time.
Did they sign for it?
Did you?
Did they sign for it? Then they received it. What happens after that is not the fault of my people or of the Aqua Corporation. It's their fault. Shouldn't have signed for it.
He's getting a raise.
Honestly.
I put the rounds back, put the lid roughly on top. Doesn't really fit anymore. I didn't have as carefully as it did before.
I noticed.
Look of resentment on this guy's face.
And I go check another box.
Oh shoot.
As much as I appreciate the overtime you are generating for me and my crew,
I also memorized the serial numbers on the side.
Hammer, 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 hammer,
It
hammer.
gets so loud, no one can hear you talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alas.
Out comes your crowbar. And
Andrew doesn't notice when Hick sidles up a little closer and drops an active shield Bayonne in one of his pockets.
oh yeah.
He's gonna get himself killed.
Probably should have done this earlier, but I didn't think.
I didn't think he would literally stick his face at the barrel of the gun and say, oh.
You have not achieved this level of resentment on your resentment meter the entire time you've been working with the
I didn't think
Centurion.
he would inspect the howitzer by loading around and staring down the barrel to
Exactly.
make sure it's seated properly.
At this point, when you were on the dock actively being shot at, you were getting about 2/3 resentment level compared to what's coming at him.
Yeah.
No, that was just cold. That was an assassin. I resented the assassin.
Yeah, that was entirely my resentment.
Resentment.
Having put crate 301 mostly back together, I checked crate
mostly.
320. What's in crate 320?
This is Andrew is inventing auditing right now.
Quick,
ODD.
Audits.
crate 320 has long arms.
Auditing.
at least according to the pick list on the side of
I
the.
didn't ask what the pick list said.
You open that. The pick list says that there are approximately 256 long arms in this crate.
And that looks like 256 to me.
You, by your estimations, doing a mathematical analysis, it does. You would calculate there's approximately 256 plus, padding material.
You'll
Thank you.
note that each pick list also contains bin numbers that we have to pull the very specific things from. When we take the product, each time, we're not only counting the product in our hand, but we also do a count of the bin, just to make sure the count is accurate each and every time.
Did you just say it was just packing?
Well, in this case, he's an unpacking master.
No, the packing peanut.
Yeah.
Destroy it.
Okay.
But he's destroying your very good work.
I'm going gently. I'm just getting enough room for one hand to get out. It just happens when you're working through bullets, you have to get a lot of bullets out of the way to get halfway down a crate.
Your arms are deep in bullets.
Looks like.
Well, now they're deep in long arms.
I thought it was long.
But he has short arms.
This one is.
So
This one's a lot easier to check. I pull one long arm out, look down, and say, "Yep, that looks like." And put it back.
Okay.
that looks like Arliss's arm.
And put the back on.
He has a
Oh,
medium arm.
Yeah.
brutal. I don't know. He's a tall guy. I feel like you'd have long arms.
I walk up to the train.
Okay.
Look up to the train. Down the train.
You are looking at a long expanse.
I've just never seen a train before.
You have come early enough. The loading has just started,
Enjoy.
and so at this point, a gentleman by the name. A gentleman by the name of Merrick Eastside Conter. Merrick says, I've been examining these actually as they started. I'm from Legion Arms. You are Benoit. Why are you here? And who are these people? And Benoit says, oh, sir, good to see you. I was the one responsible for signing off for the last train. I didn't want the same mistake to take place.
Oh, so it's your fault. Good to know. You did do
Thank
your
you.
due diligence and you opened the box, right?
I would note, if the last shipment had arrived, she wouldn't be here either. And I think it's probably her name on your paycheck.
I'm not saying that nothing happened to his shipment. I'm just saying he signed off on it, which means it's legally his problem, not ours. And there is no court in the world that would disagree with me, because that's on the contract.
He's right, you know.
This is the point where the president should tell her worker to shut up.
No, the thing is, under every shipping law in the world, I'm correct. Because I've had this conversation with customers before.
And
I know
technically
you are,
correct
and that's not
is
the
the best
point.
kind of correct. Sorry for stepping on your hair. It's
At this point,
yes, it's okay.
discussion.
I had no malice.
In any case, I
Reputational.
realizing that that our company's been robbed, I wanted to make sure that the authority of the law was here in order to make sure that Legion Arms was not placed in a bad position again. Oh, really?
Again?
Did you think of this yourself, or did you get everybody around the water cooler together to come up with this brilliant idea? No, I thought of it myself. Wonderful. In your next review, I'll remember that. And can you take your, I am on site for Legion Arms. You may be assured I've already been watching them. And we've opened 3 different crates at this point. Before they did anything, I have following every crate as it's going on. Centurion, I apologize for my
He's an investigator.
He's a bodyguard.
There's no centurion here. No, sir. Let's see, the centurion sent his best investigator, Mr. Harker
Special
here.
investigator.
The special investigator Harker.
He's gonna call it Rickman.
How special you must be. So thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Where will I be riding on this train?
Oh,
Strapped to the front the way you're going.
I don't think that I didn't make any arrangements for. As I understand it, there's a carriage that we'll be able to ride on going on. Will you please just shut your fat face? Shut it. I want you to think on the meaning of the silence of the dead and the recently fired.
I want you to contemplate in all its meanings the phrase, silent as the grave.
Well, so I was just pointing out, since you didn't know about it, there's actually a carriage that we will be able to ride on in order to stay with the cargo as it is being transshipped to Eastside. And because of the legal arrangements, we are not responsible for the cargo until it arrives safely in Eastside. Yes, I know. See, I talk to people and I listen and I hear and then I understand. You listen and you hear and clearly you don't understand when I said shut. Mr. Benoit.
It's okay. Thank you much.
So, as clearly it's evident you don't have to be here, I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
Well, when I'm ready to go, I'll be waiting in the carriage. Miss Apple, I was curious why you were here. You sent a lot of transmission. You sure for all of them? And I
Pause.
a little bit.
Pause for a moment. What are yeah? What are the bare thoughts, observations, and considerations that you emotionally are feeling at this moment?
Disdain for this man. Disdain for this man.
Likewise. You've been here for 10 minutes and you've given us 2 more hours of work, thank you.
A little bit of regret for the extra work for the workers. They haven't taught me anything. I'm intrigued by the training. The boxes surprised me a little bit. It would have made life a lot easier if they were just, what arrived on the other end.
Right.
They were boxes of lead, that would have been great, but they're not, and that's kind of annoying. And a little nervous.
Okay. Completely intellectually, pure data. What is the significance of your presence here right now? Yes, Artemis.
the effect of my presence.
Yes. What kind of authority are you actually exerting here? How do people purely strategy and tactics? As of a man standing inside a mind palace staring over his crenellations,
What does he observe of you?
What does he observe of you? As you, from your position, have just gotten that from him.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question.
There is no emotional information is here. This is all pure strategic data. So what is the power? What's the phrase I'm looking for? The power dynamic of this room with you present.
The vibe, the mood.
Right, but that's emotional language.
Yeah, that's emotional language. We're looking for a non-emotional
Objectively, who
Sherlockian.
owns the room?
Right, I effectively own everything here, so everything here is going to be as it should be. Everyone here is doing exactly what they are supposed to be doing, for sure.
Okay. Relationship to Merrick / Benoit / these two? Well, he's her employee and he's doing exactly, she's satisfied with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a nice bonus. Nice.
It'll be an extra nice barbecue next time you're in.
So basically, the other thing is, what is your, how is the power dynamic as far as having someone from Legion Arms here and having a representative, however young he may be, of a special investigator for the Centurion present? What is Artemis's thoughts, not feelings, on this?
She is not feeling. It's hard.
I'll be doing this throughout the night periodically,
I'm sorry.
where
This is
David,
gonna take me some
where
practice.
David has to throw out the emotions of his character that works very hard not to show any, and you're forced to not deliver any emotional information because he can't read it. It's not there. There's filters up, and it all gets scobbed on one hand and periodically thrown out in the trash can.
Artemis is going to be more in charge than the Legion Army guy, because this is our territory.
So she, the fact that he's here is in no way undermining her authority, and her thoughts on the Centurion as far as the Centurion's presence here. Is there?
If he's anything, he's helpful.
Okay. That's what you've got. The other thing you've got is a whole bunch of like lines around here with question marks. Data not coming in otherwise besides that.
Maybe look and continue inspecting the train cars.
Yes, you go, you do your analysis,
Checking the wheels.
looking at the wheels, looking at the
Cars.
the reality of the trains is that in general, while you'll have an immediate grime from the environment that it's in, but outside of that, the train cars are in constant motion around the realm, and so you can be. In modern day, we'd be worried about invasive species all over the place because there's soils from Kiron, Malacacia, the Hysandrin forest, the Great Wood. There's dust blown in from the deserts south of Akel Sahar. But these particular cars most recently have been northward in Derek Sibad. The cars that you checked out for comparison in Eastside had the salt of the shore and had most recently come from Belumira and beyond from Kezutzaha. but beyond that, they had been to Berenda in the east.
I take a quick glance inside the car that's currently being loaded. Just sort of watch how the process goes, and then I go slide open one of the cars that's already been loaded.
Apologies.
I don't actually move any crates, but I swing inside and look around.
Give me a like basic dex check so we thing because
1593.
okay. At this point, Merrick is following you, and trying to keep an eye on what you're doing to understand. Is that he knows what Aquila Arms is doing. They're loading the train. You are clearly doing an unasked for audit, and he wants to make sure that if he can tell what you're touching, he can keep track of that. How well did you roll on your crawling through the train?
The last roll I just
Yeah.
15.
He is staying with you. He also rolled a 15.
We'll just say that Hick has worldly experience, and aside from keeping an eye on his erstwhile charge, he, before turning to the side of light, may have been a shade of gray.
Okay. This surprises me not at all.
He's really good at what he does
Yeah.
for some reason. 6.
What is it that you wish to do?
I'm looking. Do you remember one petty officer Harkness?
Yes.
I'm looking at crates that are sealed, just the seal tape, looking at the structure of the car and looking at its volume, and like from the outside and the inside is like, is there?
Everything is on the up and up. It's from your analysis. If you're going inside the car, Merrick is having a schizophrenic moment because he's trying to keep.
Well, I'm just right behind him. I'm following on like Harkness followed Lieutenant Tremaine. Just right there, looking.
Okay,
he
give
checks
me a
something,
second roll.
Then if
He buys you a second roll.
3.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm just like flicking the seal tape to see if it separates.
The one thing we want people to do with our seal tape is touching it.
Yeah.
Well, because a good way to
Give me a either an ingenuity or resolution roll, whichever is better. And any bonuses that might come from his gray matter.
I need to keep trying. Now I need to really fast roll a character.
You didn't have a character sheet for Hick?
No, because
crazy.
like the last time he was on screen, the only thing I did was roll for saving the Centurion's life, and
that.
Let
I
me,
rolled like a 1 something.
Actually, let me talk to you. You'll
Okay.
need to roll them up, but just give me 15 seconds.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah. Sorry. The car appears to be in proper order. Everything looks right.
That one occupied.
Artemis, what are you up to? As you are seeing this boy rip open crates and then go and climb into and check out the cars very closely.
Ransack is probably the word.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
You're watching? Okay.
Watching at
You notice that Merrick is more troubled by the special investigator digging around than any of your people are.
The smuggling check roll. Did you hit? You said ingenuity or res, whichever was higher.
Yeah. And yeah. And so that's what's cooking. The loading goes by. Time the clock. We have a camera that looking at the clock. It's like 2 o'clock, and then it's 7 o'clock. People, the shift. You're stuck with a long shift today.
The shift that was supposed to go home didn't get to go home.
Right.
Because they needed to finish up the previous one. Well, the new shift has to come in and get everything stuff going.
The train is scheduled to depart at 11 p.m. And train departures are like rocket launches. There are windows, and you've got to be inside that window, or there's a whole new renegotiation that's got to go on as to who's going to have the tracks when and where. So
No one goes home.
no one goes home. And the train just keeps rolling forward as the
If there's
day and now night.
If there's a local business I know the warehouse manager of where we can basically just effectively bribe him to get extra work. I saw my warehouse manager do that once. Because the thing that's going to hold us back at that point is actual lifting capacity.
You also have a relationship, not a standing arrangement, but a relationship with one of the local eateries, wherein it is possible for you to call in and basically have food delivered under those circumstances where people that have been there for 10 hours are asked to stay for another 4.
I'm sure we at this point have some sort of schedule of, the 2 guys at a time can take like a 20-minute break and then just rotating through it so that everybody gets at least some time to eat. Hopefully everyone's forklift certified.
Yeah. The day is with regard to the warehouse itself, the day is every bit as exciting and entertaining as any warehouse watching a train getting loaded can possibly be for 10 hours.
I don't know, with 2 shifts working at once, it might be, it might actually be very interesting, at least in the why aren't they killing each other?
Yeah, it is something of a dance.
Forma, where do the guards stay? You do guard the cars, right?
The cars, as they are completed, are closed and locked. There are guards that are going to be riding along, but this time, the guards that are on this, normally there's not. Normally the cars are just sealed and they go. This time there are 2 guards from Legion Arms that'll be riding in uncomfortable locations along the back of the train. One gets to ride on each side, actually at the back of the train. The cargo containers, these cars are being packed completely, and they are not being arranged for human occupation. So
Just happens to be, we could work out 2 places.
Yes.
Large enough to fit a human male,
Yeah.
technically.
And those 2 guards, it's a sucky job, but it has few requirements. Except You do not have any issues like claustrophobia that would cause problems.
You know the YMCA thing where people make the letters? You can do the C, right? That's what we got
And
for
then
you.
hold it for several hours.
Yeah.
Don't worry, just hold that position until 5 in the morning.
You also have to like overtime.
Yeah.
Alright, well, as the loading draws to a close, I go ahead and climb on board the passenger car and make myself comfy.